Foreign Minister Hayashi's press conference will begin. Minister, the floor is yours. Thank you. One item from myself at the top. The year before last, the coup erupted in Myanmar, and 2 years had passed on February the 1st. And on that day, the Myanmar military forces announced further extension of the state of emergency. This is of deep concern. And in light of the recent situation in Myanmar, including this announcement of extension of state of emergency, Japan is of the policy not to provide any new ODA targeting the regime led by the military junta. On the other hand, however, humanitarian aid to the people of Myanmar continues to be an urgent issue. So we will continue to actively engage in humanitarian assistance through international organizations and NGOs that will directly reach the people of Myanmar. Since the coup, the humanitarian situation in that country continues to worsen. According to the UN Humanitarian Response Plan on Myanmar announced on January the 25th, including the internally displaced persons, 70,600,000 people are in need of humanitarian assistance. In response to such situation in Myanmar, the Japanese government has decided to provide an additional $60,300,000 of humanitarian assistance. Specifically, the assistance will be provided through international organizations, including the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, United Nations Children's Fund, World Food Program, and Coordinating Center for Humanitarian Assistance on Disaster Management of ASEAN, to provide food, medical supplies, and shelter, and to provide assistance to countermeasures on water, hygiene infrastructure, nutrition improvement, health services, access to education, and illegal drugs. The Japanese government will continue to seek the Myanmar side to authorize safe and uninhibited humanitarian access and provide diverse assistance. The Japanese government will continue to stand by the people of Myanmar who are faced with the current difficult situation. That's it from me.
共同通信上田さん、共同ニュース。上田共同ニュース。Regarding G20 meeting, I have a question. From the 1st of March to 2nd, G20 Foreign Ministers meeting to be held in India. In order to participate in the Diet Budgetary Committee, you are going to be absent. However, you have to confirm the solidarity among G20 countries. I think this is a blow to diplomacy. What is your view? And also, in conjunction with the G20, there is a Quad meeting. What is the prospect of yourself participating in that? Yes, G20 Foreign Ministers meeting, as you mentioned, who is going to participate representing the government of Japan there. We are now making a final coordination with various circumstances taken into consideration. However, decision has not been made yet. In any case, at the G20 Foreign Ministers meeting, we are going to make a clear communication about our views as the G7 president. Also, with regard to Quad, as was announced by the U.S., the meeting of foreign ministers of Japan, U.S., Australia, and India on the 3rd of March, the meeting is to be held in New Delhi, and final coordination is being made. And Quad aims to cooperate among 4 countries which share basic values to realize free and open Indo-Pacific, and we advance practical cooperation in a broad-ranging areas. Japan will diligently participate in discussion among 4 countries. How we are going to participate in that meeting, that is now being coordinated.
Yomiuri, Abe-san. Abe of Yomiuri newspaper. On sanctions against Russia, this morning there was a cabinet meeting, and the Prime Minister announced most recently the new sanctions against Russia, which was adopted by the cabinet meeting. Minister, when you appeared on the television program, you mentioned the importance of preventing circumvention and evasion of sanctions against Russia. So in order to avoid such backfilling, how do you intend to elevate the effectiveness of such sanctions? Regarding the sanctions against third countries or support by third countries to Russia, we would like to avoid making any detailed comments. In the G7 summit statement, the statement requested third countries to cease support to Russia. Japan will continue to collect and analyze the relevant information and continue to keep in close contact with the G7 and the international community. Due to time limitation, next one will be the final question. Takeuchi-san, Mainichi.
Mainichi Takeuchi. With regard to G20 meeting, I have a follow-up question. The other day on the TV program, Russia's aggression against Ukraine. Regarding this, you want to work with G20 and India, and you want to reach out to Global South in order to advance coordination with them. That's what you said. What's the significance of G20 meeting this time around? What is your view on that? Yes. G20 Foreign Ministers meeting, the significance or meaning of this meeting, that was the gist of a question. Of course, G20 Foreign Ministers come together and discuss various things, and that in itself is very important, and that offers a very valuable opportunity. Food, development, climate change, energy, health, on these matters, cooperation of international economic cooperation, G20 is a premium forum for that purpose. Therefore, we would like to have a very good discussion on these matters, and that is the significance of this meeting in my view. This concludes the Foreign Ministers meeting. Thank you very much.